Today we are going to be making a cover for a journal. It's going to be a bird themed journal with this fabric on top. Hello, welcome to Nixies Notebooks. I am your host, and today we are going to be making the cover for a journal that's going to be bird themed. I have this beautiful cloth that my aunt gave me. It's going to be in tones, the journal is going to be in tones of the lighter colors here, the light blues, the grays, and we're going to make it together. Trying to find, this is what I'm looking for. I'll probably be using this to, what do you call that? Distress the edges of the paper. Sorry, words. I'm going to use that for this journal. I think it will be just different, a little different. It won't have the brown vintage look, but it'll have the blue and gray, and I think it'll go really well with some of the pictures I found for the journal as well. So we're going to start by doing, I have a Triscuit box. This flavor is phenomenal. I love it. Can't have it in my house because I eat the whole thing. When you're using a box like this, it's usually held together like this. Oh, with the flaps down. I open up all the flaps, these flaps, the bottom and the top. And then what I do is I carefully kind of peel away this part. You want to keep this edge right here intact. This is one whole piece of cardboard. It hasn't been damaged in any way. It's one whole piece of cardboard, not separated, so it's just sturdier. All right, let's start by we'll take this off first. I do use a paper cutter. It is slightly easier to use the paper cutter. There we go. I just kind of line it up like that. Do this side as well. I have to say, paper cutters are one of the best investments that you can have. I just like it. It's easy to cut through some bigger stuff. Makes everything a little bit easier. Is this going to work? Yeah, it is. Good, good, good. And again, the world is proving that the world is not straight. Look at how far off this is, and oh, no, it's right there. I apologize. The metal's right there. Okay, so we're good. We're good. I thought it was like really crooked and we were off by a huge amount, but nope, not the case. There we go. That does look good. All right. And this is what does this do on this side? Just be very careful when you're using the cutter. Just something I want to throw back out there. And then just kind of look. I usually use, this is my normal method of how I make covers when I use boxes and stuff, just so you know, so you're aware. That was right, yeah. How does that look? They look fine. Okay. It's close enough. Once you get the cloth on it, it's really not going to make that much of a difference. Alright, so the next thing I do, just to give strength to the spine, this is book binding tape. It's very thick, it's actually when I try to puncture it to do my sewing in my own binding, it is difficult to get through. That's good, because that's kind of what we want. So we are going to attempt, you know what, how about I do this the smart way? I don't normally do it the smart way, but because I'm on camera, I am going to attempt to do this smart. So let's look. See, I got to figure out halfway point is easier to do it in centimeters. Sometimes it's easier to do in centimeters, sometimes it's not. Okay, so this might work. So takes me a minute. So it looks like 10 is the center. Let's do up here, same thing. Yeah, I'm still eyeballing it, as you can tell. This look is kind of a good, try to get this as straight as possible so it looks semi-decent. I don't always do this. I am bad about that because just that I just don't like to measure. Okay. So this is going to be on the inside of the book. I'm not going to really care about the hangover edges. I'm just going to cut them off. I'm not worrying about them getting caught in anything because the fabric is going to fold over. Alrighty, we're going to do the second piece. I'm going to try to line it up as best I can, right down next to it. There we go. It's just going to give this edge right here a little bit extra toughness and a little bit extra staying power, because it will be taped down. So you can't really tell, but that's the white tape edge right here. This is not actually the cardboard. It's actually the white tape edge. I don't know if you can see that. So I got it pretty good right on. So that's good. If you do it crooked, it's really not a big deal, and there are ways to fix it, which I will show. I mean, I won't necessarily be fixing it, but I'll show you like what I do sometimes on the inside of these books. Sometimes when I'm doing them, I will take a piece of lace along here or something. I do, so I fold over the fabric. Once I put the fabric on, I fold it over. This is the inside still. And I do put a piece of paper as a book plate, or I make a fold out, which I think I'm going to do on this journal as well. It'll be like a fold out piece. But right now, we are not going to worry about that. Again, I mean, these look fairly straight, so that's okay. I've had some that aren't fairly straight, but once you put stuff on top, you can't really notice, so it's not a big deal. Okay, now onto cutting the fabric. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to cut it. It's just the way I roll. I'm a little out of breath. I had to go outside and pick up a heavy chewy box, you know, for cats, like cat food and stuff, so I'm like really out of breath right now. It's a really heavy box. So I'm going to have to be very careful about the directionality of this as well, because we want to make sure that the peacocks are all facing upwards. We don't want, you know, silly little peacocks in weird ways. trying to find the... So what I'm trying to do is just kind of feel where the book is, kind of feel where these... Okay, that's not helping. Let me take this out. Okay. No, Nix. No. Sorry, cat wants to get involved now. Okay, so this is where... Okay. So this is where the book pages will go. So this will be right on the... Just trying to think. So this will be on the back and this will be on the back. That'll work. Yep, hold on one second. Stop chewing that! Get down. Come on, what's wrong with you? Don't do shit like that. What is fucking wrong with you? No. Okay, so that is kind of where we're going to want to cut it. So I'm probably going to want to cut up along here and then over. Make sure I'll get all that guy's little feathers there. And I'm just going to cut it because that's just the way I roll. Do you have fancy... Sorry, I keep having to stop. My cat keeps chewing some gold paper I have because I haven't fed her yet, so she's angry at me. And that's just how she rolls. So we know we have to go across that edge up there. Alright, let's fold this back up, get this out of the way. There's going to be excess on there. I cut off the excess after the glue is dried. So... Alright, so yeah, this piece is way too big. That's okay. So this piece is too big. That's fine. I will use some of these pieces within the book itself. Might even cut off some more and use more in the use more from the regular fabric. Okay. Okay, so this will be on the spine. That's fine. Okay. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use fabric tack. It's great. It holds down the fabric really well. You're going to want to spread it out with your finger. It just works better if you spread it out with your finger. I do a little bit at a time just because this stuff dries kind of fast sometimes. I live in Arizona. Everything is drier than dirt out here. Even the dust is drier than dirt. It's awful. So you want to make sure you spread this around really, really good. This is where more is better, one of the few times in the world. And the reasoning why is you don't want a lot of, because if the glue doesn't get down, or the glue isn't good, doesn't hold it down, it may cause like a bubble effect on the fabric. You also want to be careful like how much you use, so it's kind of a hit or a miss. That's probably not the best thing to say. You just want to make sure that, you know, you're watching what you're doing. Okay. See, like right there, you can see the glue is already starting to dry. A few times I wish I was back in New England. There we go. You don't want to press too hard. You don't want the glue to seep through. And then you just keep going. This glue gets very messy and gets all, I get this glue everywhere. I get it in my hair, hands, you name it. Okay. I just want to make sure it's kind of flat. Okay. And every once in a while you want to kind of just rub your fingers together. Get some of this glue off. Because the little pieces will start to get into the glue that you're trying to spread around. Trying to get the glue pieces off. It's like rubber cement. I don't know if anyone still make rubber cement. This is sort of like a rubber cement type of consistency. I don't know if anyone remembers that. That's what I always use in art. And it kind of has that kind of a consistency. So if you do, you can kind of peel away some of this stuff depending on the type of paper you're using. You can kind of pick up some of the glue. So you, if you make a mistake, you can kind of correct it, or if you use too much glue and it squeezes out the side. It's a kind of more of a forgiving glue. You can move it around a little bit once you set it. But it really works well with non-paper that you're trying to glue to paper. Really, 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 really does. So, and yeah, I'm using a lot. I would hate for something to be wrong because I skimped on something. Does that make sense? Probably. Let's just pretend it did. Okay. And there's two types of this type of glue. There's fabric fix and fabric tack. I would suggest the fabric tack. It is a stronger hold. I think there's a difference in it, and I don't remember what the difference is, except for I know one is a stronger hold. The fabric tack is a stronger hold. Fabric fix is the not as strong hold. So I'm going to let this dry. I usually let this dry overnight, so I'm going to let this dry overnight. And I will see you back in the next video where I will peg the corners. I'll cut around it, peg the corners, and we will pick out a color for the inside of the journal. Bye! Thanks for watching.